Avengers Endgame flawlessly concluded the unprecedented achievement that is the Infinity Saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 3 phases, 11 years, and 22 films, in a very smartly woven together universe that led up to the war between the Avengers and the Mad Titan Thanos, but all things must come to an end, and the saga is now over, and with it, the faces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are all now gone. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, started this franchise off in the first MCU movie, Iron Man, and ever since has been the absolute cornerstone of this universe. In Phase 1, Iron Man was undeniably the face of the universe and basically everyone's favorite Avenger, as well as the main character. That kind of changed in Phase 2, as well as the beginning of 3, which molded Captain America into a much more beloved character, and ever since Captain America the Winter Soldier, as well as continued upon that in Captain America Civil War, I would say that Cap has 100% solidified his place as one of the faces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as he has become one of the most, and if not the most beloved and celebrated character in the universe, right next to Tony Stark. Phase 3 also made Thor a face of the universe after Ragnarok completely reinvented him, and then that scene in Infinity War where he came to Wakanda screaming, "Bring me Thanos," it was very clear in that moment that he has officially become one of the main big 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that was never as clear as in that moment. But there was a 4th character that was also solidified as one of the faces of this universe in Endgame, or right before that in Infinity War, with Thanos, with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and the big villain Thanos, all beloved characters at the forefront of the Infinity Saga. The series ended being not only a hugely successful franchise, but literally the biggest movie franchise of all time, and I don't think that would have been possible without these characters and without this villain becoming as beloved as they have. Which is the exact reason why going into Phase 4, Marvel has to essentially redo what they did with Cap, Tony, Thor, and Thanos, making another character or characters, as well as probably a singular villain, the faces of the second saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because with Endgame, Tony died saving the world, and in doing so killed Thanos. Captain America retired to the 40s, is now 105 years old, and Thor is the only face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe left, and even though he is still around, I don't see him being as big of a character in the next phase, or as big of a character like figuratively. He is bigger literally, but what I mean is I don't think he will be as important of a character going forward, and I think he will also be probably confined to the Guardians of the Galaxy corner of this universe, so that doesn't really leave any faces of this franchise left. And like I said, the MCU wouldn't be nearly as good without these characters, and Phase 4 and beyond really has to establish the new faces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and who they are. Again, Thor is still around, so he can possibly still remain as one of the main characters and faces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In fact, I actually do see that happening, because Thor Ragnarok was a huge reboot for the character, and that was not a very long time ago, so they still have so much left to do with this character, and I do see them doing that. But at the same time, I feel like this universe probably needs newer, fresher characters to bring it into the future, but who will those characters be? Well, Marvel has seemingly and very clearly been wanting and kind of forcing Captain Marvel to be the face of the universe, stating that she is, for one, the most powerful Avenger, even though in the comics she is not, and also stating that she will lead the way into Phase 4, meaning that she will probably be the leader of the Avengers in Avengers 5 and on. The problem with Captain Marvel lies entirely with the actress Brie Larson, who is without a doubt one of the most polarizing and controversial actors or actresses of all time. Like, I've never seen somebody so hated on the internet, or at least a successful actress as famous as Brie Larson. She is so polarizing and so controversial. There are literally like videos on YouTube explaining why people hate her so much due to the way she acts, what she says, and how she says it. So it's needless to say that having an actress this polarizing as the head and face of the literally the most successful film franchise of all time, I don't think that will end well for that franchise. Now, that's not to say that Brie's character is bad. I don't think Carol Danvers is necessarily a bad character, but I don't think she will ever become as beloved as the former cornerstones of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, simply due to the fact that the actress is completely ruining everyone's perception of the character, including my own. It's not that easy to separate a character from an actor or an actress when that actress and actor is speaking louder than the character themselves, so I don't think that Captain Marvel can ever truly become the face or one of the faces of this franchise. Or, I mean, I definitely think she can, but I don't think that will end well for this franchise. As much as Marvel wants her to, I don't really see that happening. No, I think that the new face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is actually a lot more obvious than Captain Marvel, a character who is already the face of the Marvel Universe as it is. I think that if you go back 20 years and told someone that there would be a Marvel movie universe coming up, and the faces of this universe would be Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and Thanos, not a lot of people would believe you, and the ones that did would probably suspect that the endeavor of the Marvel Cinematic Universe would not be a successful one, because before the MCU, nobody expected these characters to be as big as they are. Nobody expected these characters to be able to carry such a large franchise, the biggest franchise of all time, and yet they did. That being said, if you went to the same people and said that there would be another character being the face of that universe, that character being Spider-Man, now that would be a lot more believable. Spider-Man is one of the big three most famous and beloved superheroes of all time, right next to Superman and Batman, and he is certainly the most profitable one. Spider-Man didn't start the Marvel Universe at all in the comics, and it was around for like over 2 decades, I think 22 or 23 years before he arrived, but ever since he debuted in 1962, Spider-Man has been the face of the Marvel Universe in the comics, and just like the faces of the series before him, I believe that Peter Parker will naturally become the face of this universe. Captain Marvel won't work because people don't really like her as a character, and people don't like her actress especially, and Marvel is trying to force her into the spotlight, force her to become the leader of the Avengers, force her to become the main character and face of this universe, and it's just not working because it's just not a natural character development. But everybody loves Spider-Man, and I could definitely see him becoming the face of this franchise because he is based off a character that is already the face of the Marvel Universe in the comics. He is the established main character of that universe, basically. He's the most famous character, he has the most comics, I'm pretty sure. He's definitely the most profitable, and I could definitely see that becoming a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. Literally the exact same thing that happened in the comics, where you had like 20 years, or in this case like 10 years, of Captain America and Iron Man and all these other characters being the main characters of this universe, and then Spider-Man comes along, and now he is the face of the Marvel Universe, and I definitely see that happening here as well. Like I said earlier, a lot of people on YouTube as well as the rest of the internet have been saying that Avengers Endgame is the ending of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's nothing really to care about anymore. The whole saga is over. Thanos is not around anymore. Iron Man and Captain America are not around anymore, so why should I care? I completely disagree. I'm not on that boat at all. I think that the Marvel Cinematic Universe will continue for a very long time, and it will continue to be a very good universe, and it will continue to push out so many great movies going forward. And the moment I realized that was at the ending of Avengers Endgame, when all of the dead, now alive Avengers, as well as just superheroes and characters, came through the Doctor Strange portal. One of the most, if not most, hype moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or any movie ever. It was just so exciting to watch, and everybody in the theater was cheering, but the character that people cheered for the most in that moment was Spider-Man when the camera focused on him. The character that without a doubt people cried for the most in Infinity War was Spider-Man as well. I think that the MCU now, after Endgame, after Infinity War, Homecoming, and Civil War, has successfully established Spider-Man as the beloved character as like he is in the comics. They have flawlessly adapted him from the comics into the big screen, and I just see him currently becoming the most beloved character in this universe, just like he is in the comics, and as such will no doubt become the new face and the new cornerstone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward and beyond. Starting with the first post-Endgame MCU movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, as Spider-Man leads the way into Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I have absolutely no doubt that Marvel is going to be completely fine without the former heads of the universe, because Spider-Man will take the torch, and as opposed to Captain Marvel, he won't be stealing it.
You're fine.
No, thanks for dumping on me.
No, you're
quite
fine.
successfully stolen the torch.
On the other hand, I could definitely see Black Panther being up there as well as the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and who knows, maybe the big three replacing Iron Man is Spider-Man, replacing Captain America is Captain Marvel, and replacing Thor is Black Panther. Who knows? I mean, that's definitely possible, but out of all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters right now, now that Captain America and Iron Man are gone, Spider-Man is definitely my favorite, and Spider-Man is definitely the best option to lead the way into the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video. If you can't tell, Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video. If you can't already tell, I'm clearly a huge Marvel Cinematic Universe as well as Spider-Man fan, and as such, I cannot wait for Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you want to see a trailer breakdown I made for the first 2 trailers, or 2 trailer breakdowns for those videos, you could check out in the top right corner of the video, as well as certain other videos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe you could check out as well. But if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.